Good afternoon, Westwood, and welcome to Westwood Media Center coverage of your Westwood boys baseball team. Evan Cardamino here today. No Morgan Donahue. He is doing some social media coverage for the girls lacrosse game against Cohasset. Over to my right is Marie Fiscaldo setting up for some photos, and we have a little TVL rivalry matchup today as the Westwood baseball team takes on Medfield. Medfield coming into this game 5-6 and Westwood 6-4 on the season after a shutout win against Norton 10-0 with Ryan Petrus on the mound. Today we will have Luke Chandler, the future Husson Eagle, who's getting the start. Behind plate we have Jonathan Bertone. At first we have Andrew Donegan. Second, we have Petrus coming off that performance. At short, we have Brendan Senjik. At third base, Teddy McGowan. And in the outfield, in center, Danny Leahy. Number 2, who I don't have on my roster at the moment, so we'll work on getting a name for him. And I can't see in the left field the number of the player in left field. And now at the plate, number 0, he goes for a bunt. And that'll be a strike one. Marie's going to go on a little recon for me. Marie, can you figure out who's in left and right field for me? The number's fine. Chandler with a second strike down the plate. 2-0 count here. It's number 5 in left field, and that is Charles Martin. And the drop strike 3 is going to first, and that throws high, and he's going to hesitate. He's not going to second there, but a drop third strike to get on base for the Medfield Warriors. For number 0, that is Jack Gage. And now at the plate, number 10, Charles Duggan for the Medfield Warriors. Chandler checking in on first. Gage taking the lead. He's going to stay there. And that goes for ball 1. And that's a bunt. He's going to stay at first. And that's going to be a second ball. So 2-0 count. Huh? Marie has spotted a butterfly. Gage taking the lead. Chandler throws the first. That's coming my way, and that is out of play. And he's going to go to second. Prevented a disaster there, I think. First time we've had a ball come our way, I think.
It hit the blue box.
That's going to be a highlight for the podcast. And that is a strike to right center. It's going to find the gap. Gage rounding third. Going to keep him at first, but that's going to score a run for the Warriors. Jack Gage from second base. And it's 1-0 Medfield here in the first, and they are fired up. And up to the plate off of a hit from number 10, Charles Duggan. They're calling him Dougie. I assume that's a nickname. And number 16, Daniel Vasquez, up to the mat plate. Going to take a strike there, called strike 1. 0-1 count.
I wish it hit us.
Marie providing commentary back there. And that's going to be a called strike 2. Just hit that inside corner there. And that looks like a ball from here, and that will be a ball. 1-2 count for Chandler. No outs here in the first. Runner on first. And that's going to be a second ball for a 2-2 count. Duggan not taking much of a lead there at first as Chandler delivers the pitch. That's outside. That's going to be a full count here. And that's a strike 3 swinging for Chandler. So first strikeout of the day for Luke Chandler. As we get number 5 for the Warriors up to bat, Nathan Bills. One out here in the top of the first for the Wolverines. Medfield up 1-0. And that's a good hit to left field. And Martin's there to stop it, keeping a runner at second. So that'll be a single for Nathan Bills. One runner in scoring position now. We're getting time. We're going to have a pinch runner here. I would imagine in that case, pinch runner number 6, Cameron Hanna. So I would imagine that Bills is pitching. I did not get a lineup beforehand, so apologies. I'll know in a second. But usually either pitcher or catcher is getting substituted for pinch runners here in the game. So Hanna on first, Duggan on second. And another hit to center. And we still have a runner going to third. But second out there for the Wolverines. Runners on first and third now. Duggan advances to third. Morgan Donahue's coming to swing by and say hello. I think he hears me. And that was a hit by Luke Gobin. Morgan, you just missed a errant Chandler throw towards us on a check.
I was going to say, we're in that hot area for the checking out first.
We are. That's a strike 1 for Chandler, 2 outs. Can't quite see a number 1. That is CJ Herrick at the plate. And that is going to be a ball there. Bertone in front of it. One count. Another drop strike. This Hanna advances to second. So 2 runners in scoring position now. CJ Herrick, 2 outs. 2-1 count. That was actually called the ball. So potential big play for Medfield here, or big play for Westwood to get that guy out of the inning. 2 unscathed to prevent a 3-0 lead potentially. And a hit, that's a base hit out at third, and that will prevent the runs. So at the end of the top of the first there, Medfield 1, Westwood 0. And we will step aside, folks, and we will be right back at the start of the bottom of the first. Welcome back, folks, to Russ Downs Field on this surprisingly sunny Wednesday. We've had a couple days of rain here in Westwood in Massachusetts, and rain broke for some good weather, for some baseball weather. As we enter the bottom of the first here, Medfield up 1-0 off of a run scored by leadoff hitter Jack Gage. Now we have, I believe that's number 9, which is Brendan Senjik up at the plate. Senjik, a big hitter. We've seen some big moments from him last year in the Ashland game. As he takes strike one there for a, looks like a 1-0 count, maybe 2-0. And that's going to be a 3-0 count, so a pitcher's count here. Senjik probably going to take this strike, and he does. It's going to be a 3-1 count now. But Senjik, as I was saying, Senjik, a dangerous hitter. He had a winning RBI against Ashland last year. And we've seen him hit big. He's going to take another strike there. That's going to make it 4th ball, so he will advance to first on a walk. And number 2, Chase Warren, who we got a name from. Thank you, Morgan. Chase Warren up to bat. We've also seen Chase Warren. He's a big hitter, the freshman, and had a big hit in King Philip for a triple when we were at Zavarian Brothers. So this is a guy who can hit. He's going to take ball 1 there. And it is number 5 for Medfield behind the plate, who had that pinch runner. Number 16, Daniel Vasquez, as he checks in on Senjik at first. But Vasquez, our pitcher. Nathan Bills, our catcher. That's going to be a strike. Even the count up at 1-1. No, like we were saying, a nice day here at Russ Downs Field. Not too bad. And Senjik's going to second, and he will get there standing. Puts a Westwood runner in scoring position with no outs. Exactly what we need to respond to the run by Medfield here. And Chase Warren, chance to have a big hit here. Only 1 strike, 2 balls now. Watch that one. That looks like it's a ball. 3-1 count. Knowing these guys, knowing the team, speaking to the captains earlier this season, I know these guys want to get bats on the ball, get some big hits here, and Warren is capable of doing that. With a batter-friendly count, he takes one, rips it into shallow left field, and Medfield's going to get under it. Senjik stays at second for the first out, but that's what we were just talking about. You know, they want to get bats on the ball. They want to get good, solid hits. As Danny Leahy comes up to the plate, third. Gonna take that first called strike. 0-1 count, 1 out here in the bottom of the first. A great day for Westwood Athletics. A lot of games going on. Our colleague Charlotte Lynch will be covering boys volleyball today. Morgan will be doing social at the girls lacrosse game versus Cohasset. And Elliot Pichardo, I believe, is covering softball right now. So a great day for some Westwood sports as we have time here. Ori Fiscaldo also here, taking photos today. Leahy comes back up to the plate. Coming to a 1-1 count here for Westwood. He's going to watch there, and that's a called strike too. 1-2 count. Senjik still at second. And they're going to call that a balk on number 16. And that'll advance Senjik to third. Vasquez clarifying there what about that was the balk, and understands now. And a big for Westwood there is you advance Senjic to third, so a base hit could drive in a run here for Westwood, and that's what they get. That floats into second base, and he's going to be out, but that drives in Senjic. Excuse me, I blanked on a name there for a second, but Senjic going to get a score run and tie this back up at 1-1 off of an RBI 2 off of Leahy. And that's what Westwood wants. Get a run in and 2 outs now, and you've evened the count here as Drew Donegan comes up to the plate. Spoke to Drew earlier this year on the Wolverine Report with Morgan Donahue and also John Bertone. And this is a guy who can hit big. We saw it in the Norton game. He had a few big hits, I believe a double. And I want to say 2 singles. I don't think he had a triple that game. I could be mistaken, but he's a big hitter and captain of this team and a leader they look towards. And Drew's going to take ball 1 there. So I believe there's a 1-0 count. Potentially 2-0. And that's a strike. Scoreboard showing 1-1, so we're going to go with that. Drew watches strike 2 there. And that's fouled going towards my car. It will not land near it. And I will not need to call safe light today. Always a risk I take. Parking near the field, but ball 4 for Donegan, so apologies, my count was a little off. It's kind of hard to see the ball sign from here and on Russ Downs Fields, but that'll send Donegan the first and bring up Teddy McGowan. Teddy McGowan also had a big day, the freshman. Donegan taking a lead there. Vasquez gets him, but not in time. Donegan stays at first. Taking a lead again. Donegan's going. And he's safe. Very close there for Donegan. He actually slid past the plate, but was able to reach out and get a hand on it. And he stayed safe. And heads up play by Medfield. Not giving up on the play. Watching him go through the slide and seeing he had kind of slid past it. And that's something you're going to have with this wet field. You know, the field's playable, but it is dry. It isn't dry. It's still a bit wet. The dirt's still a bit muddy, so you might have more of a slide than you're used to here at Russ Downs Field. Marie harassing me while she's taking photos. But heads up play by Medfield, but just in time for Donegan, and way to keep that play alive. That would have been a 3rd out for Westwood. Right now we have a 2-1 count for McGowan, and this is a guy who can hit. So keep an eye on him, folks. Takes a watch. That's strike 2. 2-2 count for Medfield, trying to get out of this inning. Prevent Drew Donegan from potentially scoring a run. And that's a hit to right field. And he missed it. And that will advance Donegan and McGowan to third. He slides, or second, he slides in and safe. That ball is behind, but McGowan will stay there. And that is another run, an RBI for Teddy McGowan. Drew Donegan scores from second. And an error by the Medfield right fielder. And now Luke Chandler, someone who we know who can hit here, up to the plate. I've said it on every baseball broadcast, and I will continue to say it. Luke Chandler, future Husson Eagle, going to my alma mater. He will be a pitcher under head coach Chris Morris, who has had a pitcher of the year already in the NAC and has won the NAC conference 4 years running and in the race for it this year. This season obviously has not concluded yet, but taking over a historic program as McGowan goes to third, and he will get there standing. Looks to go home, but won't advance. And now you have another Westwood runner in scoring position, and this has been a great inning for Westwood to extend it. All you need now from Chandler is a single to drive in a third run. Westwood up 2-0 Chandler right now with 1 strike, 1 ball. And he swings, and he was swinging big there. We've seen him hit home runs out of this park, out of left field specifically. And left field pretty far away. Don't have an exact measurement. Foul for Chandler there. I know right field is 320. I'll have to check with Matt Gillis at some point about that. But Chandler swinging 2 strikes, 1 ball. And they're going to call that high for Chandler. 2-2 count. Deuce is on the board. McGowan at third. And Chandler shoots that out to center, and it's over his head at the wall. Chandler advances to second, draws in a run, and he's going to stay at second. And we said Chandler had some power, and it was on full display there as he drives in a third run for Westwood, now up 3-1 with 2 outs. Drives in McGowan. Marie pointing out the plane in the background, right near Norwood Airport. Get a couple flyovers. I think we should have flyovers for these games, Marie. I think we should. Yeah, I think we should do helicopters, fighter jets. They do it at Gillette. Why can't we do it at Russ Downs Field? Right now we have on base that it looks like number 4, John Bertone, coming up to hit. And we are deep in the Westwood lineup right now. And it's still the bottom of the first. I do not know what runner we're on. I believe 7 or 8. I see number 10.
I'm really fighting the changing sun now.
On deck. That's going to be a ball. Ball for Westwood. Apologies if you can hear my papers, folks. It is windy here on this beautiful Wednesday. Ooh, and a little high. Saw Bertone actually back off of that a little bit, so high and inside.
And you have no tape.
Marie was supposed to bring me some Scotch tape today, and instead, what did you get at the CVS? What did you buy yourself? Like candy or something? A donut, that's what it was. So instead of helping me out with some tape, she forgot and bought a donut, but also did the cardinal sin.
You better cut this out.
Also did the cardinal sin of not bringing me a donut, which
Are you going to cut this out?
I am not going to cut this out, Marie. But Bertone takes strike 2. It's a full count, 2 outs. And that's going to be outside for ball 4. And now we have, I believe that is number 18 for Westwood as Medfield coach calls time. So Max Bull up to the plate for the Wolverines. On base, I believe, is actually Sean Bloomquist, who is a pinch runner today, and Bertone remains on first. I believe that is. Coach giving some words of confidence, trying to encourage his pitcher to get out of the inning. Right now, Westwood up 3-1 with 2 outs, has extended this inning significantly for the Wolverines, and much needed after letting up a run in the first to come back out with a big lead and strike one for Bowl, swinging. This will be a 1-0 count here, bottom of the first. And that's going to be strike 2. Well, a curveball there, just cut inside late. And a strike 3. It sounded like he hit that, but the catcher got it. And that'll be the 3rd out. So after 1 inning, Westwood 3, Medfield 1. And don't go away, folks. We will be right back after a word from our supporters.
Westwood High School Sports, brought to you by Cadillac of Norwood, where luxury meets performance, and Arch Orthodontics, creating generations of beautiful smiles with expert orthodontic care.
Welcome back, folks, to Russ Downs Field. Top of the second here, Westwood 3, Medfield 1, as Joe Fiscaldo comes up to bat for Medfield. Chandler on the mound still. And Fiscaldo with a good hit to left field. And that is just over the head of the left fielder. Fiscaldo will stay at second, and he's celebrating just what the Warriors needed there after a rough bottom of the first inning to have a great hit to left field by Fiscaldo. Just over the head there of Charles Martin in left field. And that's a base hit for number 3. It'll actually go just foul. It looked like it was going to stay inside, but just quite didn't. Number 3 for Medfield up to bat. That is Alex Zalora. For the Warriors, looking to drive in Fiscaldo. And that's a strike. 0-2 count for Chandler now. Looking to get the first out of the inning. Strike 3 for Zalora. Swinging, looking to get a hit to drive in Fiscaldo, and that will bring up number 11 for the Warriors. Owen Sokolowski. Also here at Russ Downs Field, Mike Mao, another photographer. How are you?
Good, how are you?
Pretty good.
You got a good score going right there, huh?
Good first inning for the Wolverines. Scored 3 runs after letting up 1 for Medfield in the first, top first.
Nice.
And that's a foul going towards my car. I have gambled once again and I've won. I got too much gear. I don't want to lug it too far. So I should invest in a wagon. I had a buddy in college who had a wagon for all the gear he had, and he kept it in his dorm.
Good idea.
It was a good idea. That's strike. That's ball 1. Excuse me. So 1-1 count here. No, 2-1-2 count. Strike 2. And that's out. So the second out for the Wolverines here. Top of the second. Holding Fiscaldo at second after that massive hit to left field. And this will bring up number 0, top of the order, Jack Gage, who had an impressive hit to lead off the game against on Chandler. Gotta take strike 1 there. Luke Chandler.
Yeah.
Did I say Pete?
I think you said John.
I might have said John. I am no better than Morgan, that is for sure.
Matthew?
And that is going to be a ball 1. So 1-1 count. A runner on second.
Feeling too exposed right here. I have to move away.
Right. I will have to share our war story earlier with Mr. Mao for a 2-1 count now. When a wild Luke Chandler pitch came towards us earlier. Or not pitch, but a check throw. And that is going to be ball 3. So a 3-1 count now for Chandler. Jack Gage. A batter's count can either swing here, or if he doesn't like it, will advance to first. Calls time there. We know Jack Gage can hit. We saw it. So I would imagine here he's going to want to swing. And that's going to be ball 4. He didn't like it. Held, and 2 runners on now with 2 outs. And now coming up to bat, Charles Duggan, who drove in Jack Gage actually in the top of the first with another impressive hit. Looks to potentially advance some runners. That will be a first strike called watching. That's what Medfield does well. They're waiting for the right pitches. If they don't like it, they're not going to swing. And that's a hit to center field. And that's going to be held at 4. He's going to make it in for the second run. Fiscaldo from second, and Medfield excited to get back another run on the board and bring this game to within 1 run. So it is 3-2 Medfield. Another RBI for number 10, Charles Duggan, who is credited with both RBIs today. And this is what we saw happen in the bottom of the first. It was 2 outs, and Medfield just couldn't get that third out. So Chandler with a strike here. Westwood looking to prevent any more damage from being done and get out of this inning as unscathed as possible and maintain their lead. 1-0 count here for the Wolverines. .20 count. 0-2 count, excuse me. 2 outs. Expect to see. And he held, but runners are going to advance to second and third. So now you have 2 runners in scoring position off a ball. 1-2 count here. Now with 2 runners in scoring position, a potential single into the outfield could score 2 runs for the Medfield Warriors and put them up 4-3. Saw a similar situation with Petrus last game. Petrus able to get out both innings unscathed, actually off of a double play. Double play not needed here. Bertone keeps it in front of him. That will be ball 2. Number 16 for Medfield at the plate. Daniel Vasquez, the pitcher. And that is gonna be a strike 3 for Chandler. So Chandler preventing any more damage from the inning and getting out, only letting up 1 run. So after the top of the second, Westwood 3, Medfield 2. Welcome back, folks, to Westwood Media Center coverage of your Westwood Wolverines. Up to bat, freshman Ryan Petrus, coming off of an impressive 10-0 shutout win against Norton, where he pitched a complete game, all 6 innings, now 1-1 in the count here. But pretty impressive for the freshman. You know, TVL's a tough league, and there's no easy opponent, no matter whose record says what. And Petrus hanging in there against a tough opponent in Norton. And that's going to be a foul tip, so 1-2 count here for Petrus. On deck, if I am correct, is Senjik. Petrus strikes out there for the first out. The first out for Medfield, looking to prevent a repeat of the bottom of the first, excuse me, as Senjik returns to the plate. Petrus playing second today. Senjik at short, and that's a low ball into first, and it's just in time, and he's out. Already 2 outs for the Wolverines as Warren comes to the plate, the big hitter. And this is what Medfield needs right now. A quick inning to get back to bats. They hit good at the start of their lineup. That's where we saw them hit best. And they have a pretty strong start to their lineup. If they can get back on, if prevent any Westwood runs, that's going to be ball 1 for Westwood. Warren watching there. And much to my hope, the clouds are starting to roll in as Warren takes ball 2. Hoping to keep it from raining today. I do have rain gear, but only for the camera. That's going to be ball 3. And that is ball 4, so a 4-0 count to send Warren to first. And Warren's speedy. He's a guy who we can see steal here. So any pass balls on Medfield, I think, watch Warren. He takes a pretty sizable lead, too, when you watch. He's 3 or 4 steps. Vasquez checks in on him. Checks in. Keeps him there. And sometimes you don't even necessarily aren't trying to get him out like there. That was kind of a slower throw. Just remind him that you're watching. Don't want to get too much of an idea if you're Medfield. The pitch. And that's ball 1. But Bills is ready for it. He got up almost immediately. He knows Warren, and that was close. A perfect throw by Vasquez, right where you want it to be. Easy place for the first baseman to get the tag. Number 24 at first base, Luke Gobin. 1-0 count here at the bottom of the second. One runner on. Make that 1-1. First strike for Leahy. Westwood looking to maybe he get a runner in scoring position. We saw it with 2 outs last inning multiple times. Leahy watches there for a ball. That is ball 2, or strike 2 rather. Looked a little low from here, but I am about 100 or so feet away. That one was high for ball 2. 2s across the board, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Medfield looking to get out of this inning, preventing any Westwood runs. That would be a big bounce back inning for them after a rough first inning. And strike 3. And Vasquez with the 3rd strike on a bounce back inning for Medfield. And after 2 innings, Westwood 3, Medfield 2. Stick around, folks. We'll be right back after these words.
Westwood High School Sports, brought to you by Cadillac of Norwood, where luxury meets performance, and Arch Orthodontics, creating generations of beautiful smiles with expert orthodontic care.
Welcome back, folks, to Russ Downs Field on a now cloudy Wednesday afternoon. Coming up to bat for your Medfield Warriors, Nathan Bills. Chandler on the bump still for Westwood. Strike 1. And that is coming my way over my head, and that is foul out of play. The second time a ball has come my way today. This time I wasn't too worried about getting hit. And that is another foul for strike 2. Or still strike 2. I believe that would have been strike 3 had he missed. 0-2 count for Chandler now. And that one fouled off, but it looked like foul based on it being a little too high and inside, and looked like he was avoiding the pitch. Just got off the bat though, so it'll still be 2 strikes on the board. No balls. Strike 3 swinging for Bills, and he was looking for a big hit there. That ball is just a little early. It's 24. Luke Gobin comes up to the plate. The first baseman for Medfield. Medfield, one of the bigger rivals with Westwood as they take ball 1. One of the rivals when we ask, the athletes, who do you want to beat? Answer is usually Medfield. However, Medfield moved to the small for this season and next season. Dedham moved up to the TVL large. So Only seeing these teams once a year in certain sports. Some sports we see two as a result of team sizes. Some teams, I think for girls hockey, for example, we saw them twice for league play, but this is the only match we will see Medfield this year here at Russ Downs Field, and next year I would expect this to be at Medfield. But a good rivalry. Both these teams, and that's a ball 4 for a walk. It'll advance Gobin to first. And we'll send number 1, CJ Herrick, to the plate. But once again, a great rivalry between these two teams. You know, these are two teams that, you know, I think respect each other, but wanna win. And that's a hit going towards second baseman. Petrus gets the out at first, and that'll be the first out. Gobin advances to second. And Westwood, with 2 outs on the board now, looking to get out of this inning unscathed. Only 1 runner in scoring position, so right now in a good position. Strike 1 there for Medfield. That is Fiscaldo, I believe, at the mound. Can't get a clear read on his number. That is Joe Fiscaldo. Unsure of any relation to any of the Fiscaldos in town. I know a family of Grace Fiscaldo, basketball player, volleyball player for your Westwood Wolverines. But he had quite the hit. A deep hit to left field that was just over the head of Martin. And that's strike 2 for your for Chandler. So 0-2 count, 1-2 count, excuse me, here in the top of the third. And Chandler with the third strike, and that'll end the inning. So after 2.5 innings, Westwood 3, Medfield 2. Don't go away, folks. We'll be right back. All right, and welcome back, folks. Up to bat, number 3, Drew Donegan. And he's going to take ball 1 there. So Donegan up to bat. That's going to be strike 1, so 1-1 count. The board is not updating, so 1-2 right now. Strike 3 for Donegan. Just what you need if you're Medfield. Quick strikeout there and a quick inning to get back on the plate. Up to bat, number 12, Teddy McGowan. On deck, number 23, Chandler. Vasquez. Strike 1. That was a fastball, folks. Right down the middle. Strong strike 1. Fouled off back towards my car again. And that will land unharmed to any cars. So no cars damaged today, but we've had a few close calls, and McGowan calls for time here. Wind starting to pick up, starting to also get a little cloudier, and as you can hear me putting on my jacket. Foul ball towards tennis. Also playing Medfield and just stays out. So 2 strikes here for McGowan off of a few fouls and no balls. 1 out. And that going to be just outside for ball one. 1-2 count, pitcher's count right now. Has some room to work here for Vasquez, and that is strike 3 for Vasquez for the second out. Medfield starting to get a little more pumped, and Chandler comes up to the plate. Folks, I have an update from some of the other games going on here at Westwood High School. Westwood girls lacrosse playing Cohasset, tied 2-2 halfway through the first. Chandler with a base hit, and that's going to third, and that is in time for the third out. So a quick inning for Westwood there, as Medfield gets out of the inning very unscathed, and they are fired up. Well, after 3 innings, heading into the fourth, Westwood 3, Medfield 2.
Westwood High School Sports, brought to you by Cadillac of Norwood, where luxury meets performance, and Arch Orthodontics, creating generations of beautiful smiles with expert orthodontic care.
Welcome back, folks, to Russ Downs Field. Thank you, Cadillac of Norwood, and thank you, Arch Orthodontics, for your continued support. Alex Zalora up to bat here for the Warriors. And that is going to be strike 1 for Chandler. And that's going to be a ball for Chandler. So now it's 1-1 count here in the top of the fourth. Chandler's had a few quick innings here. Same for Medfield after a high-scoring first inning. That's going to be strike 1, actually. Excuse me. It's a 2-1 count for Zalora at the plate. And that's going to be just inside for Chandler. We'll go to 3-1. Trying to prevent a runner from getting to first early here in the fourth. And that's a base hit just past Petrus into right center. Zalora will stay at first. And that's a base hit. Up to bat now for Medfield, number 11. Owen Sokolowski. And then we will be at the top of the order, and we will see Jack Gage. And that could be a big thing for Medfield here. Jack Gage and Charles Duggan have had 2 big plays. The bunt will go foul there. 0-1 count for Sokolowski. Here in the top of the fourth. And it's a bunt for Sokolowski. And Chandler's going to get to first. And it's out at first. Coach disagrees, but call will stand. advances a runner to second. So 1 runner in scoring position for Medfield as Jack Gage comes to the mound, and excuse me, the plate. Jack Gage and followed by Charles Duggan have had a big day today in terms of hitting, getting runners on. And that is just over, and that is, they are going to let him go to first on that because that was over his head. An interesting rule call there. I'm not sure on that. I'm not a rule expert. But that will advance the runner to first. So now Charles Duggan, who has gotten both of Medfield's RBIs today. This could be a big play for Medfield. Score a couple runners. Strike 1 from Medfield. A 1 count. Chandler. It's 1 out right now, looking to get a strikeout here. Would be the best thing for Westwood. That's got to be a ball. 1-1 count. Best situation for Westwood right now would be get a strikeout here, and then any potential pop flies, any single out plays would prevent a run from scoring, and that's a foul ball coming our way. And we'll stay there. And that is a second ball, 2-2 count for Duggan right now. Strikeout would be big for Chandler here. And that is a foul popped up. And it'll be out of play. Cannot make the out. But Duggan's swinging, looking to get a big hit here. We've seen that out of him twice today for 2 RBIs. Looking to get a third, maybe even a fourth, depending on the right hit. You find the gap in one of those outfields and potentially score from first. And that is gonna find a gap. 1 runner will score, will hold a runner at second, and Medfield will tie it. Found the left center gap. And just like we mentioned, that's what they were looking for. And another RBI by Duggan. Now with 3 RBIs on the day. Gage stayed at first, and now Bertone talking to Chandler at the mound. Telling him to shake it off. Not worry about this inning. We still have plenty of baseball to play. Up to bat for Medfield, number 16. Daniel Vasquez, the pitcher. Looking to see if he can continue driving in some runs for Medfield. So after a slow start for Medfield, they have slowly chipped away at this lead and have tied it 3-3. And that's high. That will be ball 1 for Chandler. And folks, we're starting to get into the territory where we need to see if maybe we're going to get a pitch and change as Coach Whalen comes to the plate. I believe that might be Coach Quaranto, actually. I can't quite see from here. Looks like Coach Quaranto. Coming to talk to the guys and see how Chandler's doing. They will keep him in. Have not seen any bullpen activity for the Wolverines yet. And as I say that, I look over and I actually see action warming up. Looks like number 11, Chase Longo, warming up to come in for relief. It's be interesting to see if we see him in the 5th, this inning, or maybe even the 6th. We saw last inning Petrus strike swinging for strike 1 for Vasquez. We saw Petrus last game complete a full game for the Wolverines. When we saw Chandler last, it was against King Philip, and he was substituted in for Longo, actually, I believe, was subbed in for Chandler there as we get ball 2 in for relief. So, and I believe that was the 5th inning. So, I would expect middle of the 5th we might see Chase Longo. But for now, it will remain the Luke Chandler show, as it'll be foul strike 2. Big thing for Westwood here is this next inning not having a quick inning, getting some bats on the ball. Talked about it earlier, that's what Westwood was looking to do, and they did that so well in that first inning, getting bats on the ball and getting hits. And since then, it has been quick outs each of their times, and that is a foul ball heading back to that parking lot off of someone's hood. Whoever's driving the black BMW might need to check their hood. But excuse me. And that is a high pop-up. Petrus with the fly. That'll keep runners at second and first and get the second out of the top of the 4th. And now if you're Westwood, you're in a better advantage. A catch out or a base out, fielder's choice, will prevent a run. And you can keep this tied for Westwood, which is what you gotta be looking to do if you're Westwood. You don't want to let Gage or Duggan score here. Duggan has been the main RBI contributor for these Medfield Warriors. But it'd be cool, it'd be good to see how Westwood responds here, if they can prevent anyone else from getting an RBI, and see if they can get out of this inning. Chandler with a hit, a line drive to center, and a diving catch, and that's going to advance Gage. Gage will score. Duggan's going home. Duggan will score. And that will keep Nathan Bills at second for a double, a 2 RBI double, putting Medfield up 5-3. A big hit for Nathan Bills. He will get substituted for by Hannah. We've seen that before, and they are ecstatic. That is what you need if you're Medfield. 3 runs now in this inning. Put Medfield up 5-3. Chandler now looking to get out of this inning as Gobin up to the bat, who I believe, I can't remember if it was Fiscaldo or Gobin who started this inning, but close to the leadoff hitter of this inning. And that is a high pitch. And what Medfield's doing good is when they get those hits deep, they're finding gaps. They're not hitting it right to the fielders, and they're forcing Westwood to run. That's a foul ball there for strike 1, 2-1 count. But they're finding the gap, and they're hitting it in the gap and making Westwood run for it. And right there, we saw right fielder Martin dive for it. Just didn't get there in time, and 2-run score for Medfield. And they're going to take it to second, and he's safe. Looked to steal third, but he got back just in time. Umpire cleaning off home plate. But Westwood looking to get out of this inning get some bats on the balls here in the bottom of the fourth. 3-1 count for Chandler. Strike 2 for Chandler. It's a full count here with 2 outs. Excuse me. And that's a fly ball to left field and gonna fall into the gap. Another run will score for Medfield, and Gobin gets an RBI to now go up 6-3. And Coach Whalen not gonna come out to the mound. He is just out front by the entrance to the dugout. So it is 6-3 now. Gobin on first. Coach Whalen keeping Chandler in. One count. That's high. Bertone almost checked in on first there, but chose not to. 2-1 count now. That is just inside. It is a 3-1 count. CJ Herrick. And that's a ball 4. And Coach Whalen is making his way to the mound. I believe we will see a pitching change here as Joe Fiscaldo now returns to the plate. And we will. So it will be a pitching change, and we will get number 11, Chase Longo, up to bat. With 2 runners on, Gobin at second, Herrick at first, and Fiscaldo up to bat. And after Fiscaldo, we have the top of the lineup again. And we've seen, I believe we saw Fiscaldo at this inning. We've also seen Gage. We've seen Duggan. Strong portion of their batting lineup for Medfield. So Longo in to get the Wolverines out of this inning. See what he can do. Started off with a nice day here at Russ Downs Field, and since then it has gotten cloudy. Still a great day for Westwood sports. Numerous games going on. I just got an update from Morgan. Westwood up 6-4 over Cohasset. Halfway through the second, so we will be following that. You can catch his updates on Westwood Calls, the social media page dedicated to Morgan's Calls, which was inspired during this season last year. I remember Morgan asking me during some of the games about doing an Instagram account. I told him go for it. The rest is history. Also behind me watching the game, Matt Gillis and Paul Lilla, 2 legends of Westwood athletics, both on the Wolverine Report, as Joe Fiscaldo comes up to the plate, ready to face Chase Longo. That is going to be high at first, and he's out. Donegan with the out. What a heads-up play by Bertone to get out of the inning. And after 3.5 innings, Westwood 3, Medfield 6. Welcome back, folks. Bottom of the 4th just beginning. Up to bat for the Wolverines, number 4, John Bertone. After a big inning for the Warriors, looks to bunt, pulls back in time. That will be ball 1. But Westwood, after a couple quiet innings looking to get back on the board here. Saw 3 runs in the bottom of the first, and since then it has been silent. That will be strike 1 for Westwood. 1-1 count now. John Bertone with a foul there, going back towards the tennis courts. Be 2-2 now for Westwood. We're getting some activity in the Medfield bullpen. Number 6, Hannah, who we have seen pinch hit as Bertone takes a big hit, and that will be a single. Bertone looked to second, he's going back to first, and he will stay there for the single. But a much needed hit for the Wolverines to finally get back on base. And that will bring up number 18 for the Wolverines. Max Bowl. They're going to check in on Bertone, and he will get back safely. Another guy who can steal a base if you're not careful. And he's going to go back again. And Bertone's safe again. But no, in the bullpen next to us, number 6, Cameron Hannah, warming up. Vasquez, though, has gotten stronger, it seems, as we've gone deeper into this game. And Bertone thought about it. And they're going to go back, and just in time, the 3rd check on this batter that they've checked in on Bertone, and still remains safe, but he is still taking those big leads, and looking there, he won't go. Be a 1-1 count now, 0 outs. The Bull looks to make something happen. Bertone thought about it, and that's a foul pass, so he can't advance. Also going on during today's games is boys tennis against Medfield and softball against Medfield, I believe. And that's a pass ball, and Bertone will advance. He's thinking about 3rd, but he got a little tripped up, and he will go back to 2nd. Got up standing. Much needed for Westwood. Now have a runner in scoring position. See if maybe you can cut this lead down a little bit. Don't have to get all of it back just yet, but it would be nice to cut into that Medfield lead. And that's going to be a foul, strike 2 still. Scary hit for the catcher as that went right back up into his mask. He does appear to be okay, but they will check on him, make sure he's okay. Definitely a scary thing that, catchers and umpires deal with. He's given the thumbs up. He looks okay. So he will be okay. A quick check, but that is one of those things where you definitely don't want to be on the receiving end of. Bertone remains at second, taking a big lead. Vasquez is checking in on him. And we're going to get a time here from Bull. Two strikes, 2 balls, no outs. Looking to get their first out. And that's going to be a 3rd ball. So a full count for Medfield. We're going to get out of this with the first out. Meanwhile, if Bull can get on first, that'll drive up, bring up number, I believe, Petrus. That's a foul. Another car has been hit. And today, that parking lot has been quite popular for the foul balls. Haven't seen much. Didn't see much last game. Only a couple in that area. Foul ball heading our way. And that's going to be out of play. And we are still stuck here with Bull at the plate. Off of a few fouls. Number 1, Petrus is up on deck. Who, if Bull can get on plate, looks to drive in an extra run. And that will be ball 4. And we're going to get time for a mound visit from the catcher. 2 runners on for Westwood now, which is much needed after 2 very good innings defensively for the Warriors. Looking to keep it that way with their lead, up 6-3, but Petrus is on deck. I believe the top of the order will follow. Petrus bunts, and that will go foul. Ryan Petrus, the freshman. Westwood has a good freshman presence on this team. 2 big names, or 3 big names, are Petrus, Warren, and McGowan. Look to bunt there. That will be ball 1, strike 1. So first one was a ball. Second one will be a strike. And he bunts it, and that's a successful bunt. And he'll go to first, and he's out at first, but that drives 2 runners in the scoring position, so a smart play from Petrus there. The sack bunt, but now you have Bertone and Bull in scoring position with only 1 out. And Senjik on. Senjik, a dangerous hitter. We've seen him have some big hits. And Senjik could play. If he can get a single, drive in a run, drive in 2 runs, depending on where it's hit. He's going to take that first pitch, strike 1. Senjik gonna foul ball back to the parking lot once again today. Nobody hit that time, but that'll be strike 2 for Senjik, and now in a dangerous position, looking to prevent a second out. He's going to call time here. After Senjik, it'll be Warren and Leahy. Senjik can get a single, driving a run. And he's going to get a fly ball, and that's going to go into the outfield. That'll drive in 1 run. They're going to hold Bull at third, but that's an RBI for Senjik, and that maintains the 1 out with Warren on, 1 runner in scoring position, and Westwood now cutting the lead down to 6-4. And that's what you need if you're Westwood. Get a run back. We haven't had a run in a couple innings with Chase Warren on the plate. And we've seen what Chase Warren can do, folks. That King Phillip game, the big triple to drive in the only run of that game for Westwood. This guy's a big hitter, and he's a speedster. He is fast. So we will watch to see what he can do, as the elements are starting to play a little bit of a factor here at Westwood High School. Clouds are rolling in, the wind is coming in, the temperature is dropping. We had a nice 71-degree day as Warren takes ball 1. And that's going to be a foul for strike 1 down the third base line. I'll be interested to see what Medfield does here in terms of pitching. Will they wait till the next inning, or if another run scores, might they bring in number 9? Number 6 have been warming up too, so 2 pitchers warming up actually. Hannah first and number 9, Alex Sokolowski. 1-1 count. Warren up to bat. Senjik at first. Bull at third. And that is going to be strike 2. Similar situation for Chase as there was for Senjik. 2 strikes. Wait for the right pitch. And that's at his feet. And Bull's going to score. They're going to send him back, actually. I believe that actually hit Warren in the feet, so that won't count as a run. Rather, it'll load the bases for Danny Leahy. And another big thing for Westwood is you still have only 1 out as the Medfield coach is coming on. The bullpen over here has cleared, but I don't know if we're going to see a pitching change. I'm not sure. With 2 outs, this is still very doable, folks. I mean, we saw Petrus last week get out of a bases loaded situation, and they're going to keep him in there. I think coach going to trust this player here and give him a chance. And they have a comfortable lead, and as long as they don't give up a big hit to Leahy or Donegan, who are the next 2 batters, or if they can even turn a double play and get out of this inning and get out a little unscathed. I mean, they have to let up 1 run, but Leahy's going to take ball 1 there. And the game has slowed down a bit. A couple quick innings in the 2nd, 3rd. This 4th inning has been a bit longer as Leahy takes ball 2. He's going to watch there. That's going to be strike 1. So 2-1 count now for Danny Leahy. And that will be ball 3. 3-1 count now. Dangerous situation for Medfield. If you walk Leahy, you let up a run. If he hits it, you could let up 2. So Westwood looking to capitalize here. And that's a base hit. Going to go through the infield. Going to get the play at first, second, and the safe at first. That'll drive in 1 run for Westwood and make it 6-5. They could not turn the double play in time. Leahy just gets to first. And that's big for Westwood. That gets a run on the board. And that brings it 6-5 with 2 outs. As Drew Donegan comes to the plate. And folks, we haven't seen many hits from Drew today. I think he's walked once. I think he struck out once. I know Drew. Know him from talking to him on the podcast. He's a highly motivated kid. He wants to do good, and I think we could see him get a big hit here. I know he wants one. He'll take a walk. He'll be smart about it as he takes strike 1 there. But knowing him, he wants it. He wants a hit. He wants to drive in that tying run. Donegan. Foul there. 2 strikes, 0-2 count. But he is swinging. He wants it. He wants to erase this deficit before the end of this inning. A good hit could do that. Single. They're going to steal. Batter called timed though, so they will send Leahy to first. A little miscommunication there, because Leahy did have them all a little confused. I think he's gonna do it again. And they're going to let that stand, so 2 runners in scoring position now. I think in the dirt, that's ball 1. I think they might have called that a balk, actually. We already saw 1 balk today, but that might have been the second one, and that might be why they let him stay. And Leahy's looking to steal. And that's a strike 3. And Medfield will get out of this inning, maintaining their lead. But Westwood has cut the deficit. 6-5 at the end of the 4th inning.
Westwood High School Sports, brought to you by Cadillac of Norwood, where luxury meets performance, and Arch Orthodontics, creating generations of beautiful smiles with expert orthodontic care.
Welcome back, folks. Thank you to Cadillac of Norwood. Thank you to Arch Orthodontics for your continued support. Joe Fiscaldo back at the plate. The out on that final out of that play was off of a check from Chase Longo, so Fiscaldo will come back up to bat, and then we will see Gage and Duggan to lead off here in the top of the 5th. 1 strike already for Fiscaldo. We know he's a big hitter. And that's going to be ball 1, looked just a bit high. But Westwood has managed to cut this lead down to 1 for Medfield. Medfield looking to see if they can continue to grow the lead. Fiscaldo with a foul there. That will be strike 2. Longo on the mound for the Wolverines. Get to see how he does today. We saw him in the King Philip game in relief for Chandler. Did not see any other pitchers in the King Philip game, or not the King Philip game, the Norton game, rather. 2 balls, 2 strikes now for Westwood. Longo looks to strike out the first batter here. And they're going to call that a ball. So it's a full count now for Longo. Would expect to and that's gonna be high, and that will send Fiscaldo to first as number 3 rather comes up. Excuse me, I may have forgotten the batting order. So it will be Zalora, then Sokolowski. Zalora takes ball 1 there. Scaldo on first. Longo checks the pitch. That is going to be a ball. 2 balls, no strikes here. No outs to start the 5th. 1 runner on. And that's going to be low for ball 3. 3-0 count here. We expect Zalora to give this pitch a strike here. One of those unwritten rules of baseball. And he does, and that will be a strike 1, 3-1 count now. We're gonna hear, I don't think we heard time. I thought we heard time, but we did not. So 3-1 count. And that will be a 4th ball. So 2 walks to open the 5th inning here for Longo. Bertone coming out to chat with him. Here comes Coach Whalen pointing at Martin, and it looks like Charles Martin's going to come in to pitch early on here in the fifth. So we're going to see a potential other pitching substitution. Potentially. Yeah, and we will see Charles Martin come in for Chase Longo. Longo will go to outfield. So something we've seen before. Martin coming in from outfield, his usual spot. But we've seen him in relief in numerous games before. Charles Martin, a good pitcher for the Wolverines, and we will see what he can do here in the 5th. 2 runners on, 0 outs. A little bit of situational baseball. Can you keep the lead close with 2 innings remaining, or 3 rather? We're just starting the top of the 5th here. And this game has slowed down a lot since we started this game. We had a quick first 3 innings, and we are now just in the 5th. This is Westwood Media Center coverage. Evan Carmino here today. Marie Fiscaldo is at one of these fields taking photos. Morgan Donahue at girls lacrosse. Elliot Pichardo at softball. Tennis to our left. And Charlotte will be doing boys volleyball tonight. So a busy day here at 200 Manhattan Street. Per usual, we see that a lot in the spring. A lot of teams we cover. Track season at home we covered this year. 2 matches covered against Dedham and Holliston. Fun to work with some of the students on that who gave us the inside scoop, and that's one of the best parts about doing stuff like the podcast is we kind of get the inside scoop on these teams. We know who to watch. We know some of these stories. It's been quite the season, quite the year for us at Westwood Media Center. And he's going to check in on Fiscaldo. And that will have a mound visit now. Talk this one over with Bertone. Bertone does a great job with those, mound visits. He knows, see him doing a lot. He'll go up on his own, just talk to the pitcher and make a plan. We'll calm him down and make sure he stays in the zone. And it's important you have a catcher with, that ability, and Bertone possesses it. A bunt here, and that will go foul for strike one. Up to bat is number 11, Owen Sokolowski. I assume brother Alex, number 9, who is entering the bullpen to warm up. Waiting for a catcher. One strike on the board for the Wolverines. A bunt attempt. They're going to maybe check in, get him back. And is that an out? That's out. One out. Fiscaldo got it second. I did not see that throw, so apologies, but a throw to second. Fiscaldo wasn't getting back, and Bertone got him. Got me too. I did not see that throw, so understandable here. One out makes it a little easier for Martin. And that is ball one, so 1-2 count. Potential to get the second out here, and no runners in scoring position now, so if you're Westwood, in a much better position. Donegan at first and waiting for the check. It won't come. And that is going to be strike 3. Oh, and a great strike for Martin to come in, and in a matter of one batter, we've gone from 0 outs to 2. And what a save by Martin so far to prevent any more runs from scoring. And now the top of the order, the most dangerous part for this Medfield team, Jack Gage. He's going to take strike 1. Trying to prevent Charles Duggan, the RBI king today, from getting on the plate this inning. He's had some big RBIs for Medfield. I believe he's at 3 today. Martin with 1 ball, 1 strike. Looking to get out of this inning without letting up a point. And that will be ball 2. 2-1 count now for Martin. Checking it on first. And that's going to be ball 3. 3-1 count now for Gage. Gage can get on base here. That brings up their most dangerous hitter in Duggan, and that's a strike 2. Full count now with 2 outs for the Medfield Warriors. Charles Martin looking to get out of this inning. And that is a strike 3 from Charles Martin with the save this inning, preventing a run. And what an inning for the Westwood Wolverines. Heading into the bottom of the 5th, Westwood 5, Medfield 6. Stay tuned. Welcome back, folks, to Russ Downs Field for the bottom of the 5th inning here. Westwood Medfield. New pitcher has entered the game. Number 9, Alex Sokolowski, who will face Teddy McGowan at the plate. 6'5" Medfield right now, after a very valiant effort by Danny Vasquez, who had 3 very solid innings, where held Westwood to nothing. And then Teddy McGowan looking to get a hit today. Saw him have a big game against Norton on Friday night. And that will be a strike. Strike 2 for McGowan. 0-2 count here with 1 out. Alex Sokolowski bringing some life to this Medfield team. And that's a hit, but that's going to be popped up, and that's going to second, and it will be out. So a light floater to deep second base, and there's 1 out for the Warriors as number 11, Chase Longo, comes up to bat. Longo was substituted for at pitcher by Martin. He's now in left field. But Longo got Westwood out of the 4th inning, and Martin got us out of the 5th. Longo takes a strike there. 1-1 count, 1 out. He looks to get something going offensively, get on base. Strike 2 there for Longo. Swinging. 1-2 count for Longo as Bertone sits on deck for the Wolverines. And that's going to be strike 3 for Sokolowski, his second strikeout today. And it'll bring up Bertone. So 2 quick outs for the Medfield Warriors, just what they needed. Had a couple outs, had a couple runs scored last inning, 2 runs. Brought this game to within 1, made it close. And that's going to be a single ripped through shortstop and third, and Bertone's going to hold at first for a base hit. And that's what we saw last time as number 18, Max Bowl, comes up to the plate. Saw Bowl, I believe, walked last inning. Bertone trying to play some games with the Medfield pitcher. Did a little juke move trying to get him to throw. He did. Bertone back in time. It's a little harder when you have a righty who can look right at you. And that's in the dirt. Bertone will go, and he's going to get there standing, turning to 3. But he won't go. He will stay at second. And a runner in scoring position for Max Bowl. We saw that last inning too, I believe. Off of a Bowl walk, Bertone stole a base. So we are in a similar situation right now, and we've seen Westwood score multiple on 2 outs. So don't let the out count scare you. 1 ball, 1 strike now. On this cloudy day now at Flahay Field, it started off nice and sunny, and unfortunately, in the spring in New England, weather can change on a dime as we get a second strike there. 1 more strike needed for the Warriors to get out of this inning unscathed. Expect Bull to swing away here. And that's going to be a hit. It will just be foul, but good contact for Max Bowl. Still a 1-2 count. Medfield looking to get out of the bottom of the 5th here. And that will be a ball. 2-2 on the board. Bertone still taking the lead. Medfield having a good game. A much needed game for them right now. And that's going to be a foul. They are 5-6 on the season. Big thing for MIAA playoffs is being above 500. If you're above 500 at the end of the season, you automatically qualify for the MIAA tournament. So right now, Medfield fighting for something here, fighting to stay above 5, to get back to 500, where they can keep their playoff hopes alive. Westwood, a couple games comfortably above 500 right now, at 6-4. One game that needs to be continued with Dover Sherborne, where a game was canceled, or not canceled, but stopped midway through. They will pick that game up at a later date. And that is strike 3 for Medfield, and they are pumped to get out of the inning. And at the end of the 5th, Medfield 6, Westwood 5, and we will be back momentarily.
Westwood High School Sports, brought to you by Cadillac of Norwood, where luxury meets performance, and Arch Orthodontics, creating generations of beautiful smiles with expert orthodontic care.
Entering the top of the 6th here at Russ Downs Field. The pressure is mounting for both of these teams. Westwood looking to come back here late. Medfield looking to maintain their lead and drive in some runs. Top of the 6th here. Charles Martin on the mound. Charles Duggan at the plate. And he'll take strike 1. So, Medfield looking to extend their lead here. The thing they stressed, could hear from here. Getting hits. Strike 2 for Medfield. So expect to see that, folks. Expect to see them swinging, trying to get some hits, trying to drive in some runs. They are aggressive. This is a good team. Lot on the line right now. 1 ball there. Meanwhile, for Westwood, looking to get another win here to extend that 500, that above 500 game, and that's a 3rd strike, and they'll strike out Duggan, and that is huge for Martin to prevent one of their best hitters from getting on base. 1 out now at Russ Downs Field as Danny Vasquez comes up to hit. And he's going to pop it up, and that's coming our way, and Donegan will not get there in time, but it will remain foul, and it will stay 1 strike. And it's worth mentioning the rivalry between these two towns. These are two teams that want to beat each other, have each other circled on their calendar all year. As they extend the count to 1-1. But two teams that want to win. It makes for some great baseball. That's a foul. Into the parking lot, hit a car. Did not sound good. Do not think it was my car, hoping it wasn't. And that is ball 2. 2-2 count now for Charles Martin. And that is a strike 3 swinging 2 quick strikes for Charles Martin. And that'll bring up Nathan Bills, who drove in 2 runs earlier this game off a monster hit. That's going to be ball 1. Foul ball going back to another car. We'll have to keep track of this game of how many cars that went towards. And that's a hit to left center. Petrus doesn't get it. Warren will keep the runner at first. Extend the offensive possession for Medfield here, as we will see Hannah sub in for Bills, as we have seen all game. And we will have 24 Luke Gibbon, I believe. Apologies if I've butchered your name. Up to bat. Martin looking to get out of the inning. 2 outs. And checks in, but not in time. Was on Donegan's left side and didn't quite have the position. But preventing a pass ball. Don't want to see that. And that's going to hit. And a catch by Drew Donegan with the aerobatics, getting Westwood out of the inning. And that'll send Westwood to the bottom of the 6th with some bats. What an inning. Westwood 5, Medfield 6. It's been a big day for Westwood sports here at Russ Downs Field and all across the fields. Update from Morgan Donahue over at Girls Lacrosse playing Cohasset. Up 14-11 with about 2 minutes remaining in the 4th. Cohasset, a very good team. And up to bat for the Wolverines, Ryan Petrus with a hit, a liner into mid-center field, and that will be a base hit for a single to get on base. Ryan Petrus, the freshman. He might be a freshman, folks, but he certainly does not play like one. And lately, we have seen him step up big for this team. Coach Whalen has to be happy with his performance, as we see Brendan Senjic come to the plate. They're going to check in on Petrus. He will stay safe. They're going to check in again, and he's safe again. Petrus taking some good leads. These are close throws, too. And when you got a pitcher who right-handed and faces, or left-handed, excuse me. I believe he's left-handed, facing you. That's a bunt attempt. They're going to check back in, but he will stand up safe. They are keeping Petrus in check. 1 ball on the count right now. 1 ball, 0 strikes, no outs. Petrus, they're trying to catch him. Wouldn't surprise me. We're going to see it again, and he is still safe. I think that's 4 now for Petrus. Telling him they have an eye on him. They are not going to let him take any steals. And a pitch, a bunt, and it's a drop. But catcher keeps it in front of him. Swapping out. Preventing Petrus from going. If that's a pass ball, he has the speed to get the second. Put a runner in scoring position early. Another bunt attempt for Senjic, but that'll be a 3-0 count now. Expect to see Senjic here take a pitch. Petrus on first. Not going to take a... I'll take a lead here. and he bunts. That'll be a strike. Be interesting to see if they stay on this bunting tactic. They do have a batter-friendly count right now at 3-1. The pitch, and he checks his string. They'll call it a strike anyways. It's a good pitch for Medfield. Looks right down the middle. Full count now. Expect to see him swing. Petrus getting back. And we have a time. Senja taking a quick moment. Work on that swing. Starting to see a couple cloud cracks here at Flay Hive. Or not Flay Hive, excuse me. Well, over near Flay Hive, but in that direction. A monster hit for Senja going to left. And he'll get under it. Petrus goes back to first. A monster hit right to the outfielder. Easy out for Medfield, and that will be 1 out. Up to bat now, number 2, Chase Warren. Once again, Chase a dangerous hitter and a speedster. Someone who, if he can get into scoring position, folks, if he can get on base, could see him maybe score from second. Petrus playing with the pitcher. And we're going to see him check. Safe again. Petrus taking another lead. Warren will stay there for the strike. Taking his first pitch, and looks like they'll swing here probably. And that's going to be a base hit to the first baseman, and he'll get there and tag. But Petrus advances to second. You have a runner in scoring position with Danny Leahy coming up to bat. And coach telling the team, keep the balls in front, and it's great advice from the coach. You know, don't let anything get past you. If you let something get past you, Petrus can score from there. He is fast. If you keep it in front of you, you can get a simple out, fielder's choice, and you can, actually you wouldn't have fielder's choice in that scenario, but you can get an easy out and get out of this inning unscathed and go into the 7th and try to maintain your lead, maybe get some runs. Danny Leahy at the plate. 1 ball, no strikes. Checking in on, and we'll have time. And the home plate ump. And that's going to be a pass ball. Petrus going to third. He will stay. Petrus getting to third, and that is big. Two balls, no strikes, a batter-friendly count. Petrus on third, and this could be a good situation for Westwood to possibly get a tying run here. A base hit, a single will get it. A base hit won't, but a single will if a base hit gets an out. So he has to get a single or a walk. They're going to let him take a strike. 2-1 count now. Danny Leahy up to bat. And Danny Leahy crushes it to right field. And that's going to find the fence. That was almost out of the park. Leahy's going to send an RBI in to tie this game 6-6. Leahy hit the fence. He was a few feet from having a 2-run homer. And Danny Leahy with the tying run for the Wolverines as number 3, Captain Drew Donegan, comes up to bat. Like we mentioned earlier, knowing Drew Donegan, he wants to get a big hit here. potentially drive in Leahy. But Westwood making the comeback here. If they can drive Leahy in here, all they will need to do is get 3 strikes, 3 strikeouts. 2-0 count now for Westwood. Oh, and they're going to send him to first. Why are they? I am unaware of why they sent him to first. I'll have to check the replay, but Donegan at first now. So we have 2 batters on, 2 outs. As Teddy McGowan, another dangerous hitter, comes up for the Wolverines. He'll take strike 1. Drew Donegan walked. Or was it a balk maybe? Donegan swinging. 2 strikes now. Dangerous situation for the Wolverines. Got to get something here if they want to shorten this game. And that's a big rip to left field. It will go foul. Good contact for Teddy McGowan. He wants to hit one, folks, and if he can hit of that caliber and land it in between a gap, that would score at least 1 run. And that's a foul hit there, making good contact. Sokolowski looking to get out of this inning unscathed, keeping it tied. That buys them a chance to, if they can get some runs in this next inning, buys them a chance. And Teddy McGowan with the base hit. That's going to go through, and that will drive in Leahy. Donegan going to third. He will stay, and Teddy McGowan. Westwood 7. Medfield 6, Teddy McGowan with the go-ahead run, and that is big for Westwood because now with Westwood with the lead, if they can maintain that lead after the top of the 7th, that's game. Westwood now in control of this game after going down big in the 4th inning. Westwood has clawed their way back. And they're saying it now. You can hear it, folks. They are not done, and they don't believe they're done. Number 13 up to bat. Jack Endy, I believe, or End. Apologies if I'm messing up your name. I don't mean it. Jack End. 2 outs, 1 strike. Ball 1 for Jack. Jack End taking ball 2 there. 2 balls, 1 strike. And that will be strike 2, 2-2 count. Sokolowski looking to get out of the inning here after letting up 2 runs here. Jack End, strike 3. Medfield has 1 inning to tie this game or go ahead. Westwood takes the lead 7-6. We'll be right back after a word from our supporters.
Westwood High School Sports, brought to you by Cadillac of Norwood, where luxury meets performance, and Arch Orthodontics, creating generations of beautiful smiles with expert orthodontic care.
Welcome back, folks, to Russ Downs Field. It is the bottom of the 7th. Westwood 3 outs away from a win. 3 outs and no runs away from a win. Medfield looking to fight back after Westwood's made an incredible comeback here. Started the game up early, 3-1. And then Medfield claws their way back and gets the lead 6-3. And now Westwood has slowly but surely clawed their way back and is now taking the lead in the 7th here. Now Medfield fighting for the game here. Expect them to be aggressive. This is a really strong opponent. They've played a great game today. Number 1, CJ Herrick, up to the mound, to the plate. Looking to start this inning off out strong for the Warriors. And that's a big hit. And that's going to hit just in front of right center. Chase Warren in front of that to hold him to a single. And that's what Medfield needs to start this inning. Simple base hit to get Joe Fiscaldo up. Joe Fiscaldo had a couple big hits earlier this game. Struck out last inning. Or a couple innings ago rather. Looking to maybe recover and put a runner in scoring position. That's going to be strike 1. 0-1 count now for Fiscaldo and Martin. And Martin has come in and had a solid game. Check swing there. That'll be a ball. A little high and inside. Strike 2 for Martin. Took a second there, but wasn't too sure from here, but looked good to me, and umps agree. Taking a look at Fiscaldo, strike 3, and that'll be the first out for Westwood. They are 2 away now, as Alex Zalora takes the plate. Looking to get something going. On deck, Owen Sokolowski. Looking to get a hit 2, and that's a pop-up. And that looks like Petrus will get it for the second out, a quick second out there. 1 away for the Wolverines, completing the comeback, as Owen Sokolowski takes the plate. And what a game we've had today, folks. Definitely entertaining. Both these teams, when these teams play, we get a great rivalry match. It'll be really interesting to see what Medfield can do here as he takes ball 1. Medfield wants it. And not only do they want it to beat their rivals, they know how important it is to their season. This is a good team. As Martin gets strike 1, and you got to give him credit. Westwood also wants this game, and they've had to earn it. Medfield has not given them an easy route at all. They are a really strong team, and Westwood had to prove it today. And that's a pop-up coming my way. It's going to go out. Oh, and it's just over the fence. Sure, Donegan lost his hat. He looks all right. Ran into the fence. He's a tough kid, though, and The way he played football and the way he played tight end, like Gronk, could take a hit, take a few hits, and you'd think nothing happened, whereas if that was me, I think I'd be out for the week. So he is a tough kid. And that's going to be a line drive into the outfield. That's going to send runners to first and second for a single. Sokol and Herrick on base. Herrick at second, Sokolowski on first. As number 0, Jack Gage, comes in. These two batters up next have been big for Medfield all game. Jack Gage and Charles Duggan, two of their strongest hitters, and they have a chance to play some last late-minute heroics for Medfield, get a couple runners scored, and maybe take a game. And these are two batters that if you're not careful, if you give them the right pitch, they will capitalize. 1-0 count right now. That's gonna be ball 2. Charles Martin right now looking to get out of this inning and this game. 2 runners on. And that is a strike. 2-1 count now. A little more comfortable for Martin. A little more of a cushion. Hard to get to a 3-0 count. Run the risk of a 4th ball and sending up Duggan, who has gotten 3 RBIs for the Warriors today. That's going to be strike 2. It's 2-2 now. I'm sure Charles Martin knows the situation he's in. He knows the opponents he's facing and 2 very strong hitters. I'm sure he doesn't want to see the second one. And it's going to be a full count now, 3-2, 2 outs. Martin with the strike 3, and that will do it for your Wolverines. Charles Martin with the save. The Wolverines complete the comeback, and they take the win over Medfield, 7-6 here at Russ Downs Field. And what a game by both teams. A tremendous effort by Medfield. They are a very good team, one that wanted it, one that gave it their all, and Westwood at the same time wanted it just as bad. And they earned it today. They had to prove it, and they certainly did. Westwood comes out on top, 7-6. So that will do it for you here, folks, at Russ Downs Field. Final score, your Westwood Wolverines 7, the Medfield Warriors 6. For Morgan Donahue, I am Evan Cardamino, and we will see you both on the next one.